What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to compare 14 premium massage guns, all costing over $100. Who am I? I'm just a guy who trains a lot. So, I recently spent about $2,000 on some of the top brands in percussion massagers. I combined those with some of the more expensive massage guns I already had for this head-to-head comparison. So all of these massage guns were all well over $100, and that was the point, was to do a video about the more expensive end of the percussion massagers. If you look back at my channel, you'll see that a majority of the time I'm always pushing affordable massage guns or affordable fitness products. So I really wanted to spend the money on some of the top higher end brands and do a direct comparison and tell you guys what my feelings were in the end. Have I been right all along that you can get just as good a quality for less money? Or are the higher end, more expensive brands worth it? I hope this video helps you decide. The first massage gun we're going to start with is the Rooftree percussion massager. Let's start with specs. The Rooftree right now is priced at $179, $180. It does come with a case. It looks like the stall force is listed at 50. Now, the speed settings, you have 4 speed settings. The battery is said to last for 8 hours. It has 3 heads in the case. And the RPM is a bit higher than usual, which they're claiming 3,400, which the average is 3,200. The noise is set at 55 decibels, which is pretty comparable to everything else. And it says the weight is about 2 pounds. Now, I wouldn't disagree with too much of that, but I'm going to disagree with one thing, which is the sound. Okay? When I previously did my review on this, I did mention that you do hear a bit of rattle. It's not super quiet, it's not super loud, but it's louder than the other guns. It's, you know, a little bit, okay? As far as percussion, it's solid. But do you hear that rattling? I wonder if you can catch it through my microphone. So that is ultimately what is a bit of a turnoff. I will say that the plastic body with this metal tip and these metal heads, now that's cool. That is a plus on that. So I do like the metal heads. But at $179, you know, this is pretty solid. Oh, you know what? Let's check the stall force here. Let's see. So, let's see. Yeah, that thing that doesn't stop. So all around, it's not bad, guys. But for me, the smoothness of the percussion and the sound is just not something I'm digging. Next, we have the Hydragun, okay? I recently just completed a review on this one. This is a nice, look, this is a very sleek design. It's a nice quality product. Let's take a look at the specs. The Hydragun cost about $299 right now. Does come with a case. The battery life is about 6 hours. It has 6 heads. And again, like I say, the average RPM for these massage guns is 3,200, so it falls right in line with that. Decibel wise, it says the decibel level is 50. And I think it weighs about 3 pounds. Now, with this gun, I'm going to say that it is listed or is advertised as the quietest massage gun. That's debatable, but I will say, as far as I'm concerned, it is very quiet. And let me turn it on real quick. Especially after hearing the Rooftree. So 2 things right off the bat: very quiet, very smooth. The percussion is smooth. There's very little rattling in my hand. Okay. I mean, I'm wearing a microphone, so you could probably hear it. Stall force. Yeah, that's not stalling. So I think when it comes to the decibel level or the sound, it is quiet as advertised, and it is smooth. The percussion is smooth. So I'm digging this one. It is on the pricier end though, for $299. So that's higher than I usually recommend, but I do like this one. This is a good massage gun. Okay, now let's talk about the Bob and Brad massage gun. Okay, I recently did a video on this, and as you know, I said it's one of my favorites. Now, in comparison, right off the bat, it is much smaller than the other ones. It's even marketed as a mini, but I think it's too big to be a mini, but it's not as big as the other ones. But that's probably what makes it great, okay? I really, really dig this massage gun. So look at the size of it. And let's talk specs. The Bob and Brad massage gun is $140 right now on Amazon. It does come with a case. The stall force says 32. That's a little low. I don't believe that to be accurate. It has 5 speeds. That's something I appreciate. And it says the battery is 8 to 10 hours. Comes with 6 heads. Again, the average 3,200 RPM. The noise is 55 decibels, and it weighs about 1.5 pounds. So it's very light. I want to check that stall force because, man, just quiet, right? Quiet and fast, smooth. The percussion is smooth. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's inaccurate. This thing's not stalling at all. I mean, I'm pushing. It's really kind of starting to hurt pushing those into me. This thing is solid. That's inaccurate. The stall force is solid on this thing. Again, this still is probably one of my favorites. Now that I've compared all these higher end brands, I think I appreciate it even more, especially for the price point. But that's the Bob and Brad massage gun. Next up, we've got the Taotronics. All right, and here it is. This is probably one of the lighter ones. It comes in about 1.5 pounds. Here are the details. The Taotronic is $118 right now on Amazon. Does come with a case. Says the stall force is 33, so that's pretty low. We'll have to see. It has 20 speed settings. It says the battery lasts from 5 to 10 hours. I think that's optimistic. Has 6 heads. The RPM is pretty standard, 3,200. Noise, the decibel level is 53, so just below some of the average, which is 55. And it says it weighs 1.6 pounds, which that actually, I believe that it is very, very light. Now, this one has one of the things that I've mentioned before that I'm not a huge fan of, which is the 20 speed settings. I'm not a fan of that. I've said that on all my reviews. If you're going to the same end speed, 3,200 RPM, right? That's your end goal. So 0, 3,200. You're gonna scatter that across 20 speeds. I'd prefer when they scatter it across, they spread it across 5 speeds. That's just too many incremental speeds. I think it's unnecessary. I think it tricks people as far as like people see a lot of numbers and think that the gun has more power, but it doesn't. So don't get tricked by that. These massage guns that have more than 5 speeds do not have more power than the guns that have 5 speeds. It's just incremental. All right, so let's go ahead and check that out. So we'll get a good solid. We'll go to 10. Okay. That's pretty quiet. It's pretty smooth, but it doesn't rattle a lot, but it's so light it just feels, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel heavy, which I'm sure that's the point. It's supposed to feel light, so there's not a lot of rattle in it. But in that sense, I get it. You don't want it to rattle or feel heavy, but it does. It makes it feel a little cheap. I'm not saying that it is. It just feels that way. As far as stall force, let's see. Doesn't seem to stall out, so I don't know. It does have a lower listed stall force, but doesn't seem to be a problem. So for $118, that's a pretty good purchase. It seems to be a decent massage gun for that price. I am probably going to slaughter the name of this massage gun. I think it's Legiral. Okay. Anyway, that's the next massage gun. So the Legiral. All right. So this one feels very light. It's listed at 4 pounds, but it feels light. I didn't tear the sticker off, but this is a very bright screen. Look at that. So that's a pretty bright screen. I kind of dig that. All right, let's take a look at the details. The Legiral is $130 on Amazon right now. Does come with a case. It says the stall force is 30, so it's pretty low. But well, you know, I'm learning that these stall forces that are low aren't really a factor. Has 20 speeds. Okay, 6-hour battery life. 6 heads. Again, standard 3,200 RPM. Noise is 55 decibels, so that's the average, and it says it weighs 4 pounds. I will say this does not feel like 4 pounds, but you know, it feels pretty light, but it's not as light as the Taotronics or the Bob and Brad, but it's not heavy. Okay, none of them are really. Again, it has the 20 settings that I'm not a fan of, but let's set this on 10 and let's see what we're working with here. Okay, it's quiet. It's a pretty quiet gun. It might be. It's up there with as far as the noise. It's a quality product in the sense that it is pretty quiet. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know. The feel of it is just. It's not bad. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't shake in my hand. It's pretty solid. I don't honestly better than the Taotronics. I don't feel any vibration in my hand, which is great. So I think it's built well in that sense, but it just doesn't feel, the percussion doesn't feel strong. It feels kind of, I don't know. I don't, that part of it I'm not really digging. It doesn't feel strong enough, right? But it doesn't rattle, so it obviously has good mechanics in there. But that's one of the turnoffs for me. It just doesn't feel solid. But that's the Legiral. Okay, stay with me, guys. We still have like 9 more guns to go, all right? So let's keep this going. All right, let's go with one of the Cadillac massage guns, one of the ones that started it all. Here is a Theragun. Now, this is a Theragun Prime, which runs for about $299, so it does not have the articulating head, the head that moves. Those Theraguns are still, I think, some of the other versions are $500+. But this is the $299 Theragun Prime. At $299, it looks like Theragun Prime has a listed stall force of 30, which I'm not buying that for a second. It does have 5 speeds. It says the battery life is only 2 hours, so that's a bit concerning. Has 4 heads, 3,200 RPM. The decibel says it's 78, so it's the loudest of all the guns, and it weighs 2 pounds. Now, considering the price, those numbers are, you know, a bit concerning, but I don't know, man. Like, let me turn it on. Let me let you hear this. It's loud, but not. I'll tell you right off the bat, I can feel quality in that. The percussion is really fast, and it's just strong. It's smooth, fast, and strong. I mean, I'm on the first setting, and it has 5 settings. And just on the first setting, it's powerful. Now again, it's not any more powerful as far as what the total RPM that it hits, but it feels more powerful. Like I think that going up to 2 or 3 would be pretty intense. The stall force wasn't listed that high, but yeah, that thing's not turning off. But now you can hear it is a bit loud, but not irritating loud. I will also, what I notice is that you don't feel a lot of rattle in the handle. And I think the plus on this is this design. At first, I used to always think the design, I mean, how big of a deal was the design? But earlier today, my back was pretty stiff and I was able to grab it like this and reach around and really get into my back and get into my hamstring. So I actually am digging this ergo or trademark design that they have. So for $299, this is solid. I feel why this costs $299, but I don't know if you need to spend $300 on a massage gun. But I do feel quality in that in the product to where I can see where the price comes from, I guess. But I don't know. It's a good product, man. I didn't expect it to be solid like that, especially with the numbers not being so great. One immediate downside for me is it doesn't have a case. It just comes with a bag. I don't know if the more expensive models of the Theragun comes with a case, but this doesn't come with a case. It just comes with a bag. Now, for a traveling perspective, that's good because it's easier to just throw a little satchel that's got your massage gun into your backpack. But I don't know, man. I love cases. I love having nice hard cases. So the fact that it doesn't come with that, it's a turn off for me. But as far as keeping it as a travel thing and you want to throw it into a bag, I can see the appeal there. Next, we have the Mebak, M-E-B-A-K. I'm not really sure. Yeah, so Mebak, and let's turn this on. Right at a glance, I like this digital readout screen. That's pretty cool. It's got a little thumbprint thing here, but that's just to turn it on. Looks like the Mebak is $130 right now on Amazon. It does come with a case. It has 5 speeds. The battery life is listed at 3 hours. And this one comes with 7 heads. So that's new. The average is like 3 to 6, but 7 heads. I'll have to take a look and see what that extra piece is. The average RPM is 3,200. Its decibel noise is 50, so it's on the lower end of all these guns. Again, 50 being the high end. And it's 2 pounds. Now, with all those details, I will tell you that it's pretty accurate. It's very light. It does feel like 2 pounds, but for me, for some reason, when I feel light, I got to get my mind out of this, but light sometimes feels cheap to me. But it is very light, so I dig that about it. It's pretty quiet. The percussion the vibration is good, but here's the problem. And maybe it's because it's not sturdy up here. I feel all the vibration in the handle. It's not unbearable, but it's there. Moves pretty fast. I'm on like a pretty low setting. Oh no, I'm on a high setting. Hold on. So, interesting. Okay. The pieces, the massage gun heads feel small. They don't seem as big as other massage guns, but I'm sure they're the same. I don't know, maybe it's in my head. But let's check this stall force. Doing my leg. Oh, this has a pressure indicator. As I push in, the lights on this right side start to go up and it goes into the red to show that I guess I'm reaching like the max for stall force. That's an interesting touch. Haven't seen that on a massage gun yet. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not really digging this one too much, but it's affordable and it's quiet. So next we have the VYBE. Okay. Now VYBE has been around for a while. When they first came out, they had those ones that look like power drills or jigsaws, but now they've kind of upped their game, and this is a pretty interesting looking one. I like white products, so this is kind of cool that it's white, but let's see here. Yeah, so let's see specs on the VYBE Premium. The VYBE Premium is $170 right now. It does come with a case. The stall force is listed pretty low at 30, and it has 5 speeds, so you know I like that. The battery lasts for 4 hours, comes with 4 heads, and the RPM is 3,200, that's the average. The noise level is 60, so it's higher than the other ones as far as 60 decibels, and it weighs 4 pounds. Now I was shocked to see that the decibel was listed at 60 because it sounds pretty quiet. Not as quiet as maybe the Mebak, but I don't know, maybe doing all these back to back, they're all starting to sound the same. It does, you know, it works like I think it works like any gun within its price range. It doesn't feel as strong as the Theragun, and of course that's not really a fair comparison given the price point, the price difference. The design is pretty neat. I think you can get into some spots with that. It doesn't feel like 4 pounds, but it does feel heavier than the Mebak and like the Bob and Brad. I don't know. The percussion is, it's a bit rattly up here, but you do not feel that in the handle, so that's awesome. I don't know if that's due to the design, but that's pretty cool. You don't feel that in the handle, but you can hear it. It's all right. It's good for the price, but it just doesn't feel as strong. All right, so now we have the Recoverfun Plus. The Recoverfun Plus costs $170 right now on Amazon and directly through their website. It does come with a case. The stall force is 62, so it has the highest stall force of all the guns so far. Has 5 speeds. The battery lasts 4 hours, pretty average as far as comparison to everything. 6 heads and 3,200 RPM. The noise, the decibel is on the lower end. It's one of the lower guns as far as noise at 52, and it weighs about 4.5 pounds. Now, I've reviewed this gun before, or just the standard Recoverfun. It was one of the first guns that I reviewed, and I fell in love with it. It was so affordable, and it was such a quality build. When you look at the Recoverfun, a lot of people say it's basically a direct competitor to the Hypervolt, that their build is almost identical. And you know, I'll see when we have the Hypervolt here in a second, but the Recoverfun was one of my favorite massage guns for a while. And then the battery went out. But what's cool about this, the Recoverfun, is that you can remove the battery, which none of the other massage guns have. You take the battery out and you can purchase another battery from Recoverfun directly, and then you just reattach it and you still have the massage gun. So that's an awesome feature. Use is simple. Turn it on. It is very quiet. It is heavy. It is 4.5. Now this is a gun that I feel feels like 4 or 5 pounds, but it's not. It doesn't bother me at all. This has got some movement, but I don't feel it in the handle. Okay, let's try that stall force. Feels like when I push it down, it gets more powerful. Yeah, that's gonna hold. There's no stall force issues there. Another thing about the Recoverfun that I've always liked is the percussion is smooth. And if you go through my channel and watch a lot of my massage gun videos, you'll see I always kind of compared back to my first Recoverfun. I compare other guns. Is that for me, I love smooth percussion, and I don't know why some guns have it, some don't. I don't know what the mechanics or what the build is that actually controls that. But some of them, even though they have the same speeds, they just don't have that smoothness. But the Recoverfun has always had smooth percussion for me, and it appears that it still does. I haven't used one in a while. I used the Recoverfun exclusively for about a year. Then I started getting more and more massage guns. I've been using other massage guns, and lately I've been using the Bob and Brad a lot. That was my favorite for over the last few months once I got that. And so I just got a new one, Recoverfun Plus, and I'm back to using this one again. And I remember all the reasons I like this massage gun. So this is the Recoverfun Plus. Okay, that's 9 guns down. We've got 5 more to talk about. Let's keep this going, guys. All right, home stretch, guys, almost there. Next gun we have, percussion massager, is the Tokfit. Now, the Tokfit is $219 right now, and it does come with a case. It has 20 speed settings. The battery life is 8 hours. Has 6 heads, 3,200 RPM. Didn't get any kind of notice on the decibels, but we'll check the sound. The noise, and it weighs 2 pounds. Now, it does weigh 2 pounds. Maybe that's optimistic. I think it's a bit heavier than that. I have a problem with the price point right now. The Tokfit has always felt, and I've had this gun for a while. Actually, I did a review on this over a year ago. It just has this cheap feel to it, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful to the manufacturers. I don't know if that's to keep it light, the way it's made, but it doesn't have a hefty, like strong build feel to it. And considering these other options that are like $130 and $179 and stuff like that, for this to be $220, I don't know. Now it does have the 20 settings, which I don't like. You know, I like the 5 settings. The percussion is solid. It is pretty quiet. The vibrations up here, I don't feel it in the handle. That's a good sign. I like that. Let's see if it's stall force. Yeah, that's not stalling out. I haven't used this in a while, so actually I'm impressed. It's better than I remember. Just again, the feel and look of it. I don't like the look of it, to be honest. The feel of it, but spec-wise, I guess it is pretty solid. The stall force feels good. The vibration's good. It does feel stronger than the VYBE and the Mebak and whatnot. But to jump to $220 when you're hitting up towards a Theragun or a Hypervolt, I don't know. But it is decent. It is decent. That's, again, my only issue being that it's $220 at this point. Now we're going to go to another pillar of the massage gun product movement. This is the Hyperice Hypervolt. Okay, I think it's the most expensive one. I believe higher versions of it are more expensive than the Theragun, or maybe they're about the same. But this is the $299 version, which is just the Hypervolt that has 3 settings, that has no Bluetooth. I don't know why you would need Bluetooth on a massage gun, but the Bluetooth version is like $200 more, something ridiculous like that. So $299, base model, 3 settings. The Hypervolt doesn't come with a case. The stall force says it's 55, so it's pretty average. It has 3 speeds, like I mentioned, and the battery life is 3 hours, so it's one of the lowest out of all the massage guns today. It has 5 heads, 3,200 RPM. The noise seems to be on the higher end at 62 decibels, and it says it's about 5 pounds, 6 pounds. Right off top, it is the heaviest out of all the other percussion massagers I've reviewed today. That is without a doubt, but it could be in the build quality. Now, what's a little disheartening is that the battery life is so short, 3 hours. But you know, I guess if you just use it and charge it every time, you know. But for that price, I guess you'd want something that lasts a little longer. Just turn it on. So turn on the bottom. We've got our settings here on the back. 3 settings. So, guys, just like the Theragun, I can feel the difference in the motor quality, is I guess the word I'm looking for, because the percussion is smooth and strong. The gun is quiet, so I'm shocked that the decibels was listed so high. I think it's a bit quieter than that, so it's not as loud. And that's due to the fact that it doesn't rattle at all, so there's no noise from that. Let's check the stall force. Okay. Yeah. That it doesn't skip a beat. So it's quality, that's for sure. And it better be for that price. These guns are expensive. The Hypervolt is expensive. I don't know if it's necessary to spend that much money on this. I see why it's expensive. It's a hefty gun, so I would imagine there's a lot of mechanics put into it is why it costs so much. But for me, if I can get a quality product that's comparable or even a little less and save a couple $100 or $100, that's just how I'm wired. So I kind of see why people buy this, or why when I go to my therapist or my chiropractor and everything, he has a shelf full of these and no other brand, so I get it. But as a consumer, you know, I don't know if I'm getting my money's worth when you look at the stats, putting it up against other massage guns that are out there right now. So I hope I'm saying this right. Next, we have the OPOVE, O-P-O-V-E, M3 Pro Max, okay? It kind of looks like the Hypervolt, right? The build and everything, it is hefty. And what I actually like about this one, man, and could be because I am blind, but I love this display. Look at this. It's a big, bright display with green letters. Man, I don't know. I'm digging that. That's pretty dope. The M3 Pro Max is $200 right now. It does come with a case. It has stall force of 50, 4 speeds. The battery lasts for 4 hours, so that's comparable to almost everything we reviewed today. 5 heads. It says it has 3,300 RPM, so it is one of the rare guns today that actually is a bit higher than the average. But I don't know if you'll feel that. I'll have to see. And the noise is at 63 decibels, so it is one of the highest. Actually, it is the high. No, it's the second highest next to the Theragun, and it weighs about 2 pounds. I don't know if this weighs 2 pounds. It may weigh closer to 3 pounds. It's not. The other massage guns today that said they weigh 2 pounds, they felt 2 pounds. This feels 3 or 4 pounds, but I think that's off. So you have 2 modes in the back here. Is pretty cool, manual and auto. And I know the TXMSPOT has this option where you can have these auto settings where you can kind of set the massage gun to like automatically cycle through specific speed settings as you're using it. And I don't know if I'd ever do that. I would just change the speed. It's easy enough for me to hit a button. But a couple of the massage guns are having that feature now. So that's on this massage gun. Let's see. It's supposed to be one of the strongest. So I'm on the highest setting here. Okay, okay. I feel that. I'm sorry you don't see the gun. I have to do it on my legs because my legs are so sore from leg day yesterday. That's a true test. Okay, you know what? This is a pretty good massage gun. I love the matte black finish to it. I love matte black anything, man. So that's pretty dope. The percussion is good. It's solid. It's smooth. It's just the right speed. It is pretty light. You know what? I didn't expect that. I kind of was like, this one might be all right, but it's a good massage gun. This is pretty nice. It's a pretty quality product. I'm impressed. But it is $200. Now, if you go, some of the massage guns we did today, 130, 160, 170. So if you want to bump another 30 bucks to 200, that's fine. It's in that range. We are doing premium massage guns today. But this is a sneak attack, man. Out of all the guns, I did not expect that from this one. This is a sneaky little mofo, man. I did not see that coming. So yeah, props to the M3 Pro Max. Next, we have the TXMSPOT. So this one has a design that they kind of market as an ergonomic design. It looks to be almost like an upside down or a different version of the Theragun Prime design. Let me just cover the design before we go over the specs. You know, I saw this and I was excited about it because I thought maybe the design would have some benefits. But guys, I don't know. Maybe I was using it wrong. My daughter used it and she enjoyed the design of it. I didn't see the benefit of it. There was times that it was a bit awkward to maneuver around, but I did not play with it a lot, so I'll give you full disclosure on that. The TXMSPOT is 140 right now. It does come with a case, and it has 20 speeds to it. The battery life is listed as 5 to 10 hours. Again, I think anything saying 10 hours is very optimistic. 6 heads, 3200 RPM. The noise level is 55 decibels max, and it weighs 2.2 pounds. This does not weigh 2 pounds, okay? But it's not heavy either. So I think it's around there. One of the features it does have, you turn on the back, you turn on the bottom here, turn back here. They do have an auto button back here where you can set auto functions. So like I said with the previous massage gun, that you can kind of program it to go at various speeds, or just program. You can auto program certain types of massage speeds that you want. I don't see the point. I just hit plus or minus. But like I said, that's a nice little feature that some of the massage guns are adding. Okay, let's go to like 10 there. It is pretty quiet, so that's solid. Because of this design, I don't know, I'm having a hard time pushing it in. It does start to act up a bit, and I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. It's rattling. So that was after I pushed it in, so I don't know if that affected it at all. But if you're looking for something unique, this is pretty cool. It might be pretty cool to you. It does rattle a little bit, but the auto function is cool. And yeah, so that's the TXMSPOT. It's pretty simple as far as what you get and the design and all that stuff. So check that one out. Okay guys, the last massage gun for this video today is the Urikar percussion massager. Probably the most unique one out of all the massage guns. And just looking at it, you can understand why, okay? The design, like this, and then I put this on because this is my favorite head for this. I'm a big guy, and this covers like your whole shoulder. It covers your quad. It's a good massage head to kind of cover a lot of space. Sometimes with some of the smaller heads, I feel like I can't really get the whole muscle. The Urikar is $200 right now. It does come with a case. It does have 6 speeds. The battery life is 10 hours. Again, that's pretty high. 6 heads, 3,600 RPM. So this is the highest one out of all the guns we've done today. And it weighs 5 pounds. This definitely weighs 5 pounds. Here's some cool features about this one that's very unique, is that on the back here, not only do you have your massage settings here, but on the back here, you have different massage speeds. So tempo. So that's, no other massage gun has that. And then they have a heated one. They have an attachment that you put on and it heats up. Now it doesn't heat up to a very strong temperature. It just warms up. Like I could barely feel it, but that's still a cool feature. One last thing is, see how it turns off? So it's touch activated. So that's a cool little plus. And then the last thing on this one is that the handle goes back and forth so you can manipulate it in different spots. So all around, man, like that's a lot of cool features on a massage gun. So as far as all the massages coming out, this is probably the most unique as far as they really looked to add a lot of neat little things that you did not have on massage guns before. This is kind of like taking it to the next level. It is really big though. I mean, take a look at it, right? So you got this big old thing, looks like some kind of like alien spaceship. So, but I will say that this is probably the one that's priced at $200 that is worth $200 because of all the features you get on it, guys. So that is a $200 gun, and that makes sense for this massage gun. All right, my final conclusion, guys. Now, these are my personal picks, okay? So you may not agree. That's why I just tried to give you all the details I could on the massage guns as I was using them and how I felt about those details at that time during the use. So you don't have to agree with my choices, but these are my choices. So my two, I decided to go with 2. All right, my 2 picks out of all the massage guns that I played with and reviewed in this video and went over. My 2 picks for 2021 are the Recoverfun Plus and the Bob and Brad. Now, that shouldn't come as a surprise, because if you have been watching my channel, first of all, I understand if you haven't, I don't think you'd be on my channel watching every single massage gun review video that I do, unless you just love my charisma, my personality, and you just like to watch me talk, or you're just into massage guns. But those two massage guns, I've repeatedly said that they were my favorite. And that apparently, after trying all these other brands, that has not changed. The Recoverfun was my favorite, and I've compared it. I've used it as a comparison to all the massage guns that I've reviewed since the Recoverfun. Then when mine finally kind of went out, and before I got the new one, I was sent the Bob and Brad, and that became my favorite. And so what I love about the Recoverfun, again, is the stroke depth, and I didn't cover that in a lot of the guns, but it just gets deep tissue. When you push it in, it seems to get stronger. What I love about it, look, it's meat and potatoes, okay? It's not fancy, and I don't need it to be fancy. It turns on, it's got 5 settings, okay? The percussion is smooth. I've repeatedly said that, and I like the speed of it. It's just, I just like the way it feels on my muscles and the product itself. So that has not changed. And of all the massages I've gotten, there are some good ones, right, that are cool and interesting and have some gadgets like the Urikar and stuff like that. I can see the appeal of those products, but my personal preference is still the Recoverfun. Now that said, the Bob and Brad is awesome as well. I love the size of it. It's so light, and the percussion is smooth as well. It's a great product. And of course, you would expect that from Bob and Brad. They weren't going to put a mediocre product out there. So I ended up going with both of those. And that's, again, one other reason is the Recoverfun Plus is a full-size massage gun. And again, the Bob and Brad is kind of being hailed as a mini, all right? Now, I do have a Recoverfun mini that I love, that I keep on me a lot and I use a lot. So I said that in my Bob and Brad video, that I don't really consider the Bob and Brad a mini. But I digress. My two picks are the Recoverfun Plus and the Bob and Brad. So the last thing on those two is price. A lot of the guns that you saw me do today, they were all priced. Some were priced lower, but I felt that in the product. I felt that lower price in the product. And some of them, the other ones were priced very high, upwards $200 to $300. And the Recoverfun comes in about $160, $170. The Bob and Brad's like $130. So they're affordable and they're quality. And that was my stipulation when I do, that is what I'm looking for when I do product reviews. And that was one of my main stipulations when I was decided to do this video and shell out the money to get all these higher ends, to see if maybe I was being unfair to these expensive guns and I wasn't really trying them to see if it was worth that price. And that's it, guys. I know this was a long video. I hope you stuck with me till the end. If you were curious about all the massage guns, but I want to do like the ultimate guide to like premium brand massage guns, all the massage guns that cost more than $100. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. As always, guys, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content so we can keep this thing going. Remember, keep fighting for fit, no excuses. And I will see you guys in the next video.